Coming up on show 670, it's the 2020 Great Plug-in Hybrid Showdown. Want to buy one? Which one should you buy? Well, good morning, good afternoon, or good evening, wherever you're listening around the world. Welcome to EV News Daily. Weekend special, actually, today on Saturday, 18th of January. My name is Martyn Lee, and I've gone through a handful of the plug-in hybrids that are going to be around on the market in 2020, in case that is the kind of car that you want to buy. We talk a lot about pure electric vehicles on this podcast, but for many people, a plug-in hybrid is the car that they need right now in their life. Fast forward 10, 15 years, maybe 5. So many people are going to be driving pure electric cars, but for many people, maybe right now, they just need that compromise car. Electric miles around town, the comfort of combustion for long journeys. Not judging at all, and for many people, plug-in hybrids are the right choice. So, alright, okay, long-term listeners will remind me that I've often said there's nothing stopping you buying a great long-range electric car. By long range, I mean 200 miles plus these days. However, plug-in hybrids are the right choice. And maybe they're the right choice for you, or maybe for one of you. Maybe you're a two-car family, and maybe one of them you want. So let's have a look. Well, thanks to myev.com for helping me put this together. I was having a look at some of the plug-in hybrids on sale in the US, which of course is where myev is. I've looked at Europe, UK as well, a bit of Aussie, and hopefully, if you're in the US and you're checking out myev.com for a plug-in hybrid car, you can find something you like. Welcome to a new Patreon executive producer, you, Andrea. Thank you, Andrea. Andrea Jefferson, new exec producer. Hey, let's kick off. You know what? I've put this in alphabetical order for no particular reason, actually. So we'll start with the Audis that are coming in 2020, and some of them already here as well. Audi of America is introducing the first plug-in hybrid variant of the SUV, the Q5. The Q5 TFSI E is going to be joined later by the A8 and the A7, says Green Car Congress. Back to the SUV then, the Q5. It's equipped with a turbocharged 2-litre 4-cylinder TFSI engine, but it's got that electric motor which sits between the engine and a 7-speed S-tronic dual-clutch transmission. Lithium-ion battery pack in this is under the luggage compartment floor. 104 prismatic cells make up 14.1 kilowatt hours of energy. And on a 381 volt system, if you do plug it into a fast charger, you'll fill it up pretty quickly. Climate control system uses a heat pump, which is always what we want for any form of EV. It pulls the waste heat from any high voltage components. That's how heat pumps work. You put in something like a kilowatt of energy to get the equivalent of 3 kilowatts out in terms of heat. The Audi Q5 E has a range of 20 miles, and of course you can select that for different scenarios. The Q7 is the bigger version. That has got a 3-litre V6 TDI diesel, but it's quick, it's smooth, and it'll certainly carry plenty of people in style, but disgusting dirty diesel wouldn't be for me. What about the Audi RS? Audi Sport is embracing electrification, planning a range of plug-in hybrid and battery electric vehicles wearing the S and the RS badges, says caradvice.com.au down under. Audi Sport isn't just planning RS-badged battery electric models in Australia. It's confirmed it's introducing RS-badged plug-in hybrid vehicles, and Autocar reports one of them will be the next generation Audi RS4 plug-in hybrid coming 2022. On to BMW, and leaked order guides have revealed the starting price of the new BMW X3. X3 very popular, SUV, full name BMW X3 xDrive 30e. Catchy. It's going to launch in the US sometime this quarter 1 2020, says CarScoops. The plug-in hybrid version the premium compact SUV starts at $50,000, including destination. Main rivals for that are probably going to be something like the Mercedes-Benz GLC 350e and the Volvo XC60. They are $52,000 and $55,000 respectively. Arrival of the BMW X3 plug-in hybrid will bump the number of available models to 4 in the X3 lineup, like the X3M, which is the really rapid one, but no electricity in that. The lineup kicks off with the S-Drive, you've got the xDrive 30i, and then you've got the plug-in as well, and that sits sort of mid-price range in that, using a 2-litre turbocharged 4-cylinder engine, and 107 horsepower electric motor, 8-speed transmission on this. When the battery's fully charged on the X3, get about 20 miles, about 32 k's of range. Here in the UK, though, BMW is expanding their extensive plug-in hybrid lineup with the addition of the X1. The X1 xDrive 25e. Catchy. Soon to be followed by an X2 model, according to Next Green Car. The X1 is going to have 35 miles of range on a single charge. X2 specs yet to be confirmed, but expected to be like the X1. BMW's drive systems are carried over from the other plug-in hybrids. PHEV, some people call them PHEVs. Like Auto eDrive, Maxi Drive, Save Battery Mode. 10 kilowatt hour battery in this, not the biggest, but it's a smaller car. Charging at about 3 hours on a 3 kilowatt charger, I'd say. Depending, a bit of a taper off at the end, but not a big battery. And that joins other plug-in hybrids in the BMW range, which is growing and growing. A little bit under the radar, but if you do want a BMW, if you're a Beamer, guy or girl, and you like your Beamers, then you want to add a plug socket to it. You've got the 2 Series, 3 Series, 5, 7 Series, X3, X5, i8, and of course the Mini, Countryman Cupra, the all-electric i3, plenty of plug sockets to pick from in their range. Moving on to Citroen, and Citroen announced the debut of their first plug-in model. It's going to be called the Citroen C5 Aircross. It's an SUV. Plug-in hybrid, announced at the Brussels Motor Show last week. And it starts the electrification plans of the Citroen brand. It says inside EVs, it's going to have a plug-in hybrid version. First one they've done. By 2025, 100% of the range will be electrified, but there's no more details on that Citroen for now. But they do end up at the cheaper end of the spectrum, so a deal to be done. Hyundai and Kia are intensifying their electrification efforts. 13 hybrids, 6 plug-ins, and 23 full EVs by 2025. Well, this year, 2020, will be the year when the most important SUVs from the brands will be electrified. There's going to be a plug-in hybrid of the Santa Fe and the next-gen Tucson. As for Kia, they're taking the wraps off a plug-in Sorento. So that makes, if I'm thinking about it, the Ceed, the X-Ceed, the Sorento, the Santa Fe, the Tucson, the Sportage, and then you've got the Ioniq, the Nero, the Optima, and the Kona, all having plug-in hybrid versions, if not now, then coming at some point in the future. It's pretty good from the Koreans. What about the Japanese? The 2020 Honda Clarity plug-in hybrid begins arriving at dealerships this week in the US. MSRP of $33,000. The Clarity from Honda has got 47 miles of all-electric range. That's really, really good. Not many commutes are longer than... Well, some people do a crazy long commute, but the average is certainly there and back less than 47. If you can charge at work, then 47 gets you even further, but 47, very good. For longer trips, 1.5 litre 4-cylinder gas engine, providing some electricity as a generator as well, can be a power source. The drive motor has 181 horsepower on tap, 17 kilowatt hour battery pack, and will recharge in 2.5 hours at maximum speed. What about Jeep? Well, Jeep will introduce a plug-in hybrid version of the Wrangler, the Compass, and the Renegade. Autoblog says that the one they're most interested in is the Wrangler, going to be called the Wrangler 4 XE. Known that the plug-in Wrangler was on its way for a while now, but now we've seen detailed spy shots of it. So, now that Jeep has pulled the covers off at CES recently, we've got all the details, right? No, they're still being cagey. Fiat Chrysler did say, and I quote, electrification, including the upcoming Jeep 4XE, will modernise the Jeep brand as it strives to become the leader in green premium technology. Wow. End quote. Look, I love hearing from any one of these official statements, these spokespeople, these press releases, and as much as you do. I love it. But I do wish that someone like a Jeep, who is so far behind, with so few plans at Fiat Chrysler, to say, what's that quote again? Let me look. Electrification will modernise the Jeep brand as it strives to become the leader in green technology. Jesus. Yeah, I give it 2-3 weeks. I reckon they're going to be bang out front. All right, let's move on. CNB speculates that the Jeep is going to have 50 k's of range, 31 miles, and a pure electric range on that, again, for your commute, but a 1.3 litre turbo gas engine to fall back on. What about Mercedes-Benz? Mercedes-Benz AMG is readying a plug-in hybrid version of its GT four-door. Going to be launching this year, says caradvice.com.au. The next Mercedes-Benz AMG C63 in Australia will swap a V8 and rear-wheel drive for a plug-in four-cylinder engine, all-wheel drive, and be a direct rival for the Audi RS4. What about Mini? Well, the Mini Countryman plug-in hybrid has 26 miles of range, three-cylinder engine, starts in the UK at £32,000. Not a cheap car, but the Mini is anything but Mini these days. The Mini is actually quite maxi. Get a lot of car, and if a plug-in is for you, and you like Mini styling, could be the car. What about Renault? Well, news on the Renault Capture E-Tech plug-in is arriving in the UK in June. Leasing.com says the Renault Capture E-Tech uses the 1.6-litre engine, but mates it to a plug-in hybrid system. 10 kilowatt-hour battery pack, 400-volt system. It'll go 30 miles. It'll do 85 miles an hour on the battery alone, and it'll do 188 miles per gallon. Unique driving modes include Sport, where it'll use both at the same time. E-Save will save the electric until you're driving into a city or a no-emission zone. Good. I'm glad Renault are coming with more cars this year. Told you recently about the little Twingo as well, city car. That should be nice and cheap. And then you've got plug-ins like the Capture. They're going to do some Clio hybrid stuff, but that's just grotty little soft hybrid stuff, I think. Correct me if I'm wrong. As far as I know, we're not interested unless it has a plug socket, frankly. And then, of course, you've got the new Zoe, ZE50, and with a CCS plug and fast charging and all the rest of it. So the lineup is coming along this year for Renault. What about Seat, the Spanish bit of VW Group? The Cupra is the performance bit of Seat, and Cupra's hard at work developing a plug-in hybrid version of the next-gen Seat Leon. It's going to be out January 28th. We've got a week to wait, says Car Scoops. The new Seat Leon is based on the new VW Group MQB platform. That's what the Golf sits on, and the Octavia, if you like Skodas. And it's going to be sold in a number of guises, but Cupra, Spanish automaker's performance car sub-brand, will launch a quick version thanks to electricity. 241 horsepower with added grunt, getting you 0 to 62 in 6.5 seconds. The all-electric power doing 35 miles. That's 56 k's. Again, really, really good. 35 miles. Good enough for most people. You'll end up doing so many miles. 13 kilowatt-hour battery pack. What about Skoda? In the UK. Skoda's most anticipated car for plug-in fans is the Superb 4, or IV. I don't know what I meant to call it. It's lowercase i, uppercase V. Well, I'm not sure. I'm a massive Skoda fan. Used to own an Octavia many years ago before I got into EVs. You know the one the police drive in this country? Octavia VRS. Is that what it's called? The Estate. I looked like a policeman on the motorway. People always pulled over for me. It was great. Oh, that was a rapid car. Oh, I've gone on a diversion again. Right, back on the script. The Skoda Superb is a plug-in hybrid, and it's also going to get a sister car, the Octavia, from Q2 this year. It's got a 1.4 litre petrol engine, but of course a plug socket and a range of 35 miles on electric only. Auto Express reporting the next Skoda Octavia VRS, the hot hatch, the one I used to own, is now going to come in a plug-in performance option. And if this had been me many years ago and I hadn't gone full EV, I'm not going 10 years now. Amazing. Because you know, I would have gone for that. A different me that was less knowledgeable about it and thinking, oh, well, you know, I haven't got a driveway. Back in those days, I used to park on the street miles away from my house. You know, I couldn't get, you know, we lived in a little terraced house that was built in 1909, and, you know, I could never park outside it because the road was always busy. And I'd have thought, well, you know, I can't get a full EV because I can't charge it, is what I would have thought back in those days. And actually a plug-in would have been perfect. I always have found somewhere to charge it out shopping and stuff like that. And it's going to be a rapid Octavia as well. 2 litre, turbo petrol, big battery as well, 13 kilowatt hours. And that's coming Q2, I believe. As for VW, obviously got to mention the Golf GTE and the Passat GTE. In this country, at least, you can't get them for now. Not saying it's sold out, I'm just saying that you can't order one right now because of high demand. They do about 30 odd miles, and I've got a bit of a soft spot for the GTE. because I think when Robert Llewellyn on Fully Charged road tested, was it Passat GTE or Golf GTE? It's the very first fully charged video that I ever saw, and it sticks in my mind. You know how these things do, don't they? I know, it's the very first one I saw, and then just binge watched the entire back catalogue, and then was hooked, right? And so I got a bit of a soft spot for those, kind of aging technology, but clever tech, and I still like them. Honourable mentions must go to the Volvo XC90, the Porsche Cayenne's got a hybrid as well, Mitsubishi Outlander remains the biggest selling plug-in hybrid in the UK, 30 miles of range on that. Hyundai do a great thing with the Ioniq, they do hybrid, plug-in hybrid and full electric. The PHEV starts at £26,000, I'm sure you can get a deal. There's always a deal to be done. But 39 miles of range on that, which is really, really good. Mercedes-Benz C-Class, didn't mention that. There's an E-Saloon and an Estate, 6.2 kilowatt-hour pack. Bit tiny, bit of a tiddler. But, you know, if you use it, it's not what you've got, it's how you use it. So, you know, if you use it carefully, even 6.2 kilowatts can be useful. I thought I'd finish off with an email that I had in the last few days from one of my listeners, Tony. Tony Bullock says, I'd be happy to answer any questions, says Tony, and provides perspective. As an owner of a Nero plug-in hybrid since August 18, and I fully intend to get a BEV as my next car. I've done 9,400 miles, the vast majority on battery. Why did I choose it? Had an old Toyota diesel that hated driving, wanted something bigger for luggage, guitars, friends, nothing in the price range suitable, but the e-Nero would have fitted the bill but was too pricey. Probably a long wait as well. Toyota's salesman tried to sell me a hybrid, he says. The Kia salesman tried to sell me a Sportage diesel they had in stock. Of course he did. Of course he did. And the same dealer let me drive the e-Nero. The plug-in version that he bought, though, was from the Midlands. Drove it to Kent. Took about a week to get it, but it was the very last one in the UK, apart from a 3-month wait if he hadn't got that one. If a suitable battery electric vehicle for my family's lifestyle had been available, I would have bought it back in 2018. My next car will be a full BEV. He says, thank you, Tony, for your input on why you drive a plug-in hybrid. Hope you've enjoyed it. Question of the week will be tomorrow. We are talking about which company you want to see electrify more. Email me about anything you like. My email address is hello@evnewsdaily.com. There are 228 patrons of the show that keep me going. Thank you so much. 669 previous shows. And if you can leave a little review on Apple Podcasts, rating and review really helps me grow the podcast. In the meantime, come and say hi on the socials. Have a wonderful day. Catch you soon. And remember, there is no such thing as a self-charging hybrid.